Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Sardinia, first of all, for this cluster meeting within the Horizon Europe project Remedies. As the Assembly leader, I'm really honored to host you in here together in Sardinia with your partners and stakeholders. We know that Sardinia, like many Italian regions, has a deep bond with the sea. Our waters are a source of life and identity, but also face growing pressure from plastic pollution. Our role in the REMEDIES project is especially meaningful. So this meeting is not only about technical exchange, but also about building stronger collaboration among partners and stakeholders that are arriving to this meeting. By working together, we can achieve cleaner waters, healthier ecosystems, and contribute to a sustainable blue economy. I want to thank all partners for this commitment and our local stakeholders for their participation. Your contribution is vital for turning innovation into real change. So welcome again, once again to Sardinia, and I wish you a productive and inspiring meeting. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brad. I'm the project manager of Remedies, and it's my pleasure that I can welcome you here in Sardinia. First of all, thank you so much to the CNR team that made all of this happen, and that is a strong demonstrated leader, making sure that we have a strong collaboration with the local stakeholders. So a big thank you also to the Sea Scout, to Mike Terana, that made sure that our voices went very far into the public, to all the local stakeholders, and especially the fishermen that make sure that our innovations are actually implemented. So thank you, everyone. I wish you a fruitful discussions at this meeting, and let's join our forces to restore our ocean and waters. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Maria Cristina Cocca, researcher at the Institute of Polymers, Composites and Biomaterials of the National Research Council of Italy, that is located in Naples, in Pozzuoli, near Naples. And today I have the honor of serving as moderator of this event. So I try to do my best for into respecting the time, I hope, and and inviting you to performing asks and strategies about these events. Well, the first talk of today is from Feda Francocci and Gloria Consoli, and they are online connected for the meeting. Fedra is a researcher of the Institute of Anthropic Impact and Sustainability in Marine Environment, but located in Rome, and is a project manager of Blue Mission Med, the European initiative supporting the Mediterranean Sea Basin in implementing the European mission Restore Our Oceans and Waters. In these roles, she coordinates efforts to prevent and fostering collaboration among stakeholders, while Dr. Consoli has developed and applied a participatory engagement approach in the Tiberian River area, focusing on co-design, educational and training pathway to support long-term sustainability goals. Well, today we present a Blue Mission Mid and Citizen Sign engaging community for a healthier Mediterranean. I hope that Fedra is online connected.
Ciao, Maria Cristina, sì.
Hi, Fedra.
Hi, everybody, and this is excited to share, to participate and join my first remedy. It's while we are collaborating since years, this is really the first time that I follow one of your activity. And unfortunately, we couldn't join in person, but we will try to follow closely the ongoing activity. So let me briefly introduce what Blue Mission Med is doing now, what achieved so far, and which are the next steps for in which we can really identify common and joint activity to strengthen in the coming months. As you know, Blue Mission Med is a CSA, so it's a coordination and support action that is complementing and running in parallel to the innovation action as REMEDIES is in the Mediterranean. So our common goal is to support and boost the mission implementation by using different approaches. And the highest we identify synergies among each other, the higher will be the impact of the mission in the area. So if you help me in sharing a short video presentation, I think this summarizes very well what we achieved so far, and then I will complement with a couple of slides. Sharing now, so please tell me if you can see the slides. So this is where we are now, and so despite the many activities that we implemented in 2.5 years of project, where we arrived in this very last year to put together our recommendation on how to boost innovation in the Mediterranean, targeting specifically the reduction and prevention of pollution from ocean and waters. We presented our report, The Polluting the Mediterranean, in Nice during UNOC 3 conference, and we had the occasion to share this in a more informal environment, but also in the context of 2 high-level events supported by the Ministry of Environment and Research in Italy and from the Ministry of Environment in France, into different events. So to make it the long story very short, we identify concrete action able to boost sustainability transition in the sectors that you see here, from agriculture to the plastic industry and wastewater and solid waste management in different contexts across the Mediterranean region. We also developed a national dimension for these sectors according to the priority that has been shared by the national hubs that I think you know that are part of the Mediterranean governance of the Blue Mission Med. So we were able to identify, thanks to a screening of almost 300 innovation projects, we identified 87 priority solutions able to really deploy this depollution roadmap for the Mediterranean. Interestingly, only the 24% of these solutions are enough mature to be concretely deployed, while the biggest part still need to be supported. We try to collect these 87 innovation in a map that is dynamic and in which you can really navigate easily and try also to gain more information and to contact directly the owner of the solution. But also we try to simplify the solution in a specific fact sheet that we organize in our website. So this was the first part of the project. We made a huge assessment. We engaged more than 400 stakeholders, and when I say 400 are not the single stakeholder, but rather European Association, Mediterranean Association. So we really be in contact with the high-level stakeholders for specific sectors and categories. But where we are now, once identified with this innovation solution, we try to test ways to support the transferring of this solution in other contexts, or also the identification of missing capacity for the scale up and replication. So we are now in the phase of supporting, thanks to webinars dedicated to specific sectors or stakeholder categories. We had recently a dedicated hackathon for ports, but also a masterclass on access to finance that is rather broad and enlarged to the whole business community in the Mediterranean. We are also targeting specific actors such as the islands community, and I guess the small islands are with you today. Also the big island for sure, but we also are now targeting the rivers and lakes community by providing supporting, and we are hosting a webinar next week in collaboration with the regional authorities that received the award, the Blue Rivers Award during the Ocean Days this March. Why I'm saying this? Because we are really now in the phase of supporting, and in Ecomondo in November, we will also present the results of our support program achievement by inviting directly those that are the beneficiaries of our support program. This is where I would like to invite you all, both in presence and digitally. First of all, I will send you and share with you the link to register to our Blue Mission Med community, that it's more than a project community, it's really the Mediterranean community to support the mission in the Mediterranean. In this community, you can upload your innovation in a marketplace. So what we are now doing statically in the repository of the project, we are now to bring to really a matchmaking opportunity by providing with you the information, contacts, and the place to directly be in contact with other realities. Ecomondo will start the first week of November. We have the occasion to host your participation and entrance in Ecomondo, and some of you have been already invited to present some results, but I really would like to enlarge this invitation to all of you to really be part of this Mediterranean bootcamp for the final event of Blue Mission Med. And I would now rather pass the word to Gloria that will present you a specific activity that we dedicated to the citizen in parallel, but also as part of Blue Mission Med and other initiative funded under the mission that we are participating with. Thanks a lot again, and sorry for not being with you today.
Thank you so much. And now I'm talking about a specific project. And this project is in this particular framework on European level, of course, into Blue Mission Med in general, and now you know what is. For the European framework, also this project is inside a European campaign, Plastic Pirates campaign, that it's a citizen science campaign on rivers. And for the local context, we are in the Tiber River Contract contest, and I think it's important to create a connection in this different level. This project is a citizen science project, and the name in Italian is Piccoli grandi scienziati e cittadini crescono. That I know it's a really long title, but I think that this title is a general goals for the project, because we try to create a students community with strong scientific knowledge. At the same time, we try to create our awareness in the citizen in general. So this project is for the schools, and we have different goals in general, but it's about create. No, it's complicated sometimes to explain the project, because we have a complex project in these years, but we try to create a network of teachers for not only in the Tiber. So the first years we start in the Tiber rivers, but now we have a school also in Tuscany, in the Arno Basin. We have more schools, and we created this network. We schedule 3 sampling times during the school years with the schools, and we of course try to create a connection between students and local environment. And we training the teachers and the students to create in general created the independent conservation action in the local environment. All schools received a kit, and this kit is necessary to do the sampling. It's necessary to follow the protocols. All the students have to go to the river banks, and we have 4 different protocols. And in general, a class is divided in 4 groups. And one group is to collect the trash in the river banks, but we have two different kind of protocols. One more about the heavy of the trash in general, and in particular for the plastic. And we have another protocols. It's more with the we have a protocols for the chemical and physical measurement, and the students use pH test strips, nitrate and chlorine test strips. And we have another group that is for the microplastics in the river, and they use the manta net. Of course, we have a really important structure for the school, for the teachers in all, and we have different and we have 3 different sampling in these 3 different. One is in autumn, and one is in winter. And the third sampling is in spring. But we are connected with the schools and the teachers during all year. And the project starts with the teacher trainings. That it's a really important point. And the teacher training is during this period. And we train the teachers in the protocols. During all the year, we have monitoring meetings with the teachers, and we are in continuous connection. We organize also expert meetings in the school with the students to do the possibility to understand better the problems in generals, or some different environmental issue. And we organize a final event. The final event, I think that it's one of the most important things in our project, in our project structure. This is the progress over the year. In 2022, we start with the pilot year. And the pilot year is only in the Tiber River, and we engaged almost 700 students The first years we extend the project also to the Arno Basin, and we increase the number of students and the number of classes, of course. And in the 223, we improved the project also with another pathway, not only one plastic pirates pathway with these protocols, but we put also pathways for the biodiversity in the project. And the last year, the number of classes degrees, but students involved was almost 800. So now I want to talk about the final event. We organized 5 youth conference, because in the first year we organized two different events, one for the middle schools and one for the high schools, and in the first years with the Arno Basin, we organized 2 different events. One in 2 different youth conference, one in Tuscany and one in Rome. And in last years, we participate also to the Plastic Pirates Summit in Brussels with 2 schools. And I don't know if you can see the posters, maybe yes. And this is posters that we create, but not we, but the students designed for the event in Brussels with all the results. Yes, and we have the 2 different institutes, one from Rome and one from Civita Castellana, really close to Rome, but not in the and also on the Tiber. But now I want to show you we have a really huge amount of outputs from the students, because every year schools can do posters or videos or podcast. Sometimes also they did installation. So I want to show a really short video, but is in Italian. So I start and after I stop, only to understand the project. And the value of the project.
That's the video. However, you have to check your, if there is sound, you have to check your sound as well. And the initial settings before.
Okay, so I understand.
Gli studenti delle classi seconda E e seconda C di Rossellini hanno partecipato, accompagnati dai professori, al progetto Tevere commissionato dal CNR per effettuare dei controlli sulla condizione del fiume romano riguardo l'inquinamento.
Svolgere il proprio lavoro di operatore all'aperto e documentare queste cose è sicuramente un'esperienza formativa molto interessante che crescerà la mia persona dal punto di vista professionale.
Sono stati divisi in 3 gruppi. Il primo gruppo si è occupato della
And this is another example. This is a photographic book about the sampling. And I know if I can.
I think maybe we can share this material later. I think that,
Okay.
yes, I think we can go straight.
Okay. So I finished my overview about the project. I try to underline the relevant connection from the citizen science and the local connection, because I think that this kind of project is really important to create a relevant connection with the local place for the students in particular, but for the citizen in general. And we have, of course, a lot of data from this sampling, but in this occasion, I want to underline the importance of this kind of project to create also a relationship between citizen and science. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Maria Vujanovic. I come from University of Maribor, where I would like to present you the new project under the Mission Ocean initiative named Task Restore Med. As we all know, the first stage of the Mission Ocean is coming to an end now, and we were focusing on the development and piloting of the solutions from 2022 to 2025 in order to generate as much knowledge and gather data as possible regarding the pollution, biodiversity, and blue carbon in the Mediterranean lighthouse. And now, from the 2026, the Mission Ocean is entering its second phase, which is basically focusing on the upscaling and deployment of the solutions that were previously tested, for capitalization of them, and also, of course, to introduce the new policies and legislation. For this reason, the 10 partners from 8 countries has joined forces into this network to drive the mission's program objectives, focusing on the Mediterranean lighthouse under the project Task Restore Med. The project has started just 2 months ago. It will be 48 months long, and the overall project budget is around 12.5 million euros. So what do we offer under this initiative? Definitely, we would like to offer financial support in all over of 9 million in grants. We are also giving capacity building, basically enabling technologies or solutions, how we rather call them, for implementation to European scale and impact by also supporting with technical knowledge from our expertise from the consortium. And of course, we will we are trying to create this dynamic network with connection, clustering, and representations of the projects applied. So this is what we offer, and what do we also expect from the projects is also basically that they aim at a transformative change. So what does this mean? We are not ready to test the little pilot solutions anymore, rather to focus on the implementation, scale up, and the development of the really mature technologies, and to deploy them in the Mediterranean Sea basin, where the inlet of them would be at around TRL 6. For us, it's also very important that we involve the society at the maximal level, and also hear the society's voice and its opinion to position the projects at the appropriate SRLs. What we will offer, these 9 million grants will be divided into two different types of projects. One will be community-led actions for the scale-up and deployment of the technologies, and the second will be definitely focusing on the policy roadmaps and local and regional level. So if I start with the community-led actions, there will be, as I mentioned before, focusing on the implementation of the innovative and the on-the-ground solutions. The total funding will be up to 7 million euros, where we will grant altogether 5 projects, more or less of 1.4 million per project. The initiation should be at the TRL 6 or higher, where we are expecting consortia with the minimum of 2 partners, where the upper level is not set. The key focus areas, we will be definitely following the 3 mission ocean objectives. First of all is reducing plastic litter and microplastics also, which is the biggest, I think, pillar, the most important one for the Mediterranean Sea basin, while also focusing on the restoring ecosystems and biodiversity, and focusing on the third one, which is supporting a carbon neutral and circular blue economy. This is for the community-led actions. However, we will also fund policy-based proposals that will be focusing on the development of the strategic policy and the governance frameworks. The overall funding for these kind of projects is up to 2 million euros, where we will grant 20 projects of 100,000 euros per project. For the beneficiaries, we have set 1 to 2 partners, and the key focus areas will be definitely on the developing strategic, local or regional roadmaps, addressing policies and regulatory gaps, while assessing legislative readiness of emerging marine technologies. By this, we would like to also, of course, focus on the Mediterranean Sea basin, but also working together with the other lighthouses. At the end, we are hoping to find some joint legislation recommendation for the whole European Union. So we will open the calls in November, end of November 2025, where here you can see our, here you can reach our link and also follow us for the future collaboration. So this is our consortium. We met for the kickoff meeting in Crete just in September, and I would kindly encourage you to follow us and apply for future funding opportunities. Thank you very much.
There are questions from the audience or from the online connected people? I try to invite all of you to participate by submitting a proposal to your project, so it would be an interesting opportunity for all the people interested in that. And we can pass to Sara Vencato. Sara Vencato is a marine biologist and researcher at the Institute in Oristano, in Oristano, Canada. Her research focuses on marine ecology, biodiversity, conservation, and the impact of marine pollution, particularly microplastic. Dr. Bencato contributed to study investigating the presence and the effect of microplastic on marine organisms and is involved in conservation efforts in marine protected area in Sardinia. I had the pleasure to host Sara in my lab last year, and so I can express my estimation to her work and skill. And so Sara will guide us through plastics and marine life, understanding the hidden impacts. Thank you, Sara.
Thank you, Cristina, for a very nice presentation. And it's a real pleasure to be here, part of this REMEDIES Cluster Meeting. And as Cristina already told, I'm a research fellow of the CNR of the branch of Oristano, and our work focuses mainly on the conservation of marine organisms and protected habitats, and mainly focus on the impacts of plastic pollution. Thank you.
You're sharing from there?
Yeah, try if it's working. You can ask them. Yeah, it's working.
Thank you. And okay, so the work of our conservation group mainly focuses on sea turtle and the conservation of these living animals. So let's start with a bit of background about these animals. So among the 7 sea turtle species you can find worldwide, only 3 can be spotted in the Mediterranean Sea: the loggerhead, the green, and the leatherback turtle. While it's quite easy to understand which one is the leatherback turtle because of the particular shape, size, and the huge dimensions, since they can reach 2 meters in carapace length, it's a little bit more tricky to understand which one is the loggerhead and which one is the green turtle. But you can easily spot it out just counting the number of the lateral plates on the carapace, since they are 5 for the loggerhead and 4 for the green turtle. Actually, the green turtle and the leatherback turtle are just occasionally spotted in the Mediterranean Sea, while the real common sea turtle in our basin is Caretta caretta. This animal has a rather complex life cycle that put this species across very different dangers. This is, first of all, a reptile migratory species that goes across different environments, starting from the beach where the hatching emerge, and going to the open sea where most of the adults spend their lifetime. During this journey, they go from a pelagic to a neolithic stage and goes across different habitats, facing every single threat that is characterized of each one of these habitats. So the combination of this complex life cycle, the increasing of the human pressure, and the thing that they reach the sexual maturity quite late, around 30 years in age, put in the past few years this animal under extinction risk. Luckily, in the Mediterranean basin right now, they are vulnerable, but still under threat. In this context, Sardinia holds a very particular place since it is located in the heart of the Mediterranean Sea, so a very nice place where to monitor and study the species is in the central roots of these animals. And the particularity is that Sardinia has a very low human population density. So that means that there are a lot of lines on the coast that present a low human pressure with many isolated and wide beaches that the sea turtle can use. Moreover, there are six different marine protected areas all around the Sardinia region that help in the protection of biodiversity and create refuges for these treated animals. That's why since the early 2000s, more and more attention was given to increasing number of individuals found stranded or buoyant. And obviously, a question started to raise. So why is this happening? In order to understand better the dangers that the sea turtles has to face, we can divide them in three main categories, all of them related to human activities. First of all, the bycatch. A lot of individuals remain trapped in fishing nets, long lines, and in trawls. Then follow the habitat loss of degradation that make the sea turtle endangered. Just think about a female that has to lay her eggs and cannot find a suitable place in a beach that maybe is organized for human tourism. And the last, the pollution, the different kind of pollution, including marine litter. So in order to start to mitigate these impacts, in the 2000, the Spanish Marine Protected Area and the CNR in Oristano decided to collaborate and create the CRES, the Spanish Rescue Center, in order to help in the conservation of the turtles around the Spanish Peninsula. Few years later, in 2004, the RAPSPA proposed to build a network of recovery centers in the Mediterranean basin, and the Sardinian region responded very quickly to this proposal by establishing the first Italian institutional network at regional basis for the conservation of marine fauna. The network is composed by the different marine protected areas, the national parks, and the research institutes that are organized in 3 main rescue centers and 5 forest aid centers. The network is coordinated by the Department of Environment of the Sardinia region under the scientific guide of the CNR in Oristano. All of the note of the network follow a standardized intervention procedure, which main steps are the quick response to the rescue of an animal, the hospitalization and rehabilitation, and last, the release of the health once it is in a good health condition. If the animal is found dead or die during the intervention, a necropsy is organized to understand the reasons under the death of the animal. In all the cases, all the data and the information collected during each intervention are then shared in international and national basis. The main final goal of the work of the network for the conservation of the marine fauna is the release of the animals. And this creates a very particular moment for the engagement of the public and to raise environmental awareness. I show you this particular picture because it comes from a release of 2021 when 4 different turtles were released and more than 400 people were present with us, mainly because of the presence of these 2 sea turtles, Galino and the Genoveva. The story is very particular because they were kept in captivity for more than 30 years, and that's the reason why we decided to put on them these satellite devices that gave us the opportunity to follow their location and their behavior for 1 year after the release, and understand that Gavino decided to move to the Caribbean seas instead to stay in the Mediterranean waters. So the work of the CRES starts with the rescue of animal that is a step increasingly possible thanks to the collaboration with citizens, the sea users, and very important with fishermen. Then, thanks to the veterinary support, every single animal is checked and even the worst case scenarios are treated. Once that the animal is declared out of nature, they are moved into the facilities of a crest where every single animal occupies one tent, just like in a hospital bed. But the rescue recovery is not the only topic of research of the crest. We manage even the nest all around the Sardinian region, monitoring every single nest and helping the hatchlings. And we do some research about the ecology and the feeding behavior of turtles. And this highlights the treatment of the interaction between litter and biota that in sea turtles can see through the ingestion of plastic debris and the entanglement of the animal in plastic items. So plastic can threaten sea turtles, but in general marine life in many different ways, with lethal and sublethal effects. For example, a turtle can suffocate in plastic bags. They can go through injuries or even digestive blockage that can lead to different kind of infection and even to a false sense of fullness that lead the animals to malnutrition and in some cases even to death. But there are even more subtle dangers that are not clearly seen, and these are the dangers related to the chemicals that are on the plastic that these animals can ingest. So all this concern brought in the 2011 different experts on sea turtles and marine litter to join in a meeting. And the result of this meeting was the development of a protocol to understand better the interaction between litter and biota. A protocol that was then published in the guidelines of the JRC and are now used in the Marine Strategy Framework Directive to understand the impact of the plastic pollution in the European seas. According to this protocol, the monitoring of the marine litter ingested by Caretta can be done in two ways, with fecal pellet analysis for the live individuals and necropsy for the dead individuals. We collect all the items that are found inside the digestive tract of sea animals, sea turtles. Then these items are sorted between actual food and the marine litter. There is the assessment of litter abundance and the weight, and then the categorization according to the different classes that are described by a protocol. And this gives us the opportunity to better understand the source of this kind of items. All this data together gave us the opportunity to participate to the two industry European projects. Very important because they have the result to declare the Caretta as one of the bioindicators to understand the plastic pollution inside the Mediterranean Sea. But another important result was to create an even broader network of connection, at this time at Mediterranean basis. And this network gave us, a couple of years ago, the opportunity to recover one of the 4 sea turtles we released in the 2021 that was found unfortunately dead along the coastline of Tunisia. But with the rescue center of Tunisia, we could organize a collected necropsy, understand why that turtle was dead, but very important, we were able to have back the satellite and we put them on another sea turtle. In the meantime, a lot of research was done to strengthen the goodness of Caretta as a bioindicator of plastic pollution in the Mediterranean Sea. And this gave us even the opportunity to understand if our basin is going on the good environmental status, the last goal of the Marine Strategy Framework Directive. And we could even do some work to deepen our consciousness about the interaction between litter and biota. For example, in this study, we started to understand better which one are the items that the sea turtle eat most among all the items that we found ingested on land. So the work was done in two sub-Mediterranean regions around all the Sardinia and in Lazio. And we used 226 sea turtles found between the 2008 and 2017. And this analysis gave us back 2,299 fragments of litter that were categorized, and we understand which kind of items they were. But alongside this analysis, we did a Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy, an analysis that gave us an opportunity to understand the polymer types of each one of these plastic items. By combining the results of the two analyses, we found that the sea turtles mostly ingest sheet plastic and plastic fragments, and the FTIR analysis identified polyethylene and polypropylene as the polymers that most affect the sea turtles. So at the end, the 77% of sea turtles usually ingest single-use plastic that reach the sea because of its mismanagement of everyday life items. And this result gave us not only more opportunity to strengthen the effectiveness of caretta as a wide indicator of macrolitter in the Mediterranean Sea, but even something to use this species as an indicator for the single-use plastic directive of 2019. But all we know that marine litter is not only composed by macroplastics, but even by microplastics. That we know about its ubiquity, its dangers, because of the size that make it viable to a huge variety of organisms and reach every single environment. But if we have, like data, a wide indicator for macrolitter, we don't have it for microlitter. In this context, fishes seems to be a nice animal, a nice candidate for microlitter indicator, but not only one species, but more species altogether. To understand if different kinds of species can give us a more realistic idea about the evolution of the microlitter in the water column, we studied the litter found in the gastrointestinal tracts of diverse fish species that, according to their ecology or biology, were assessed to different compartments of the water column. So the surface, the middle water, and the bottom of the water column. And the results highlight how effectively different fish species reflect the microlitter distribution and composition across the water column compartments. So it seems that altogether, by looking at the diverse evolution of diverse species, we can have a more realistic scenario of the micropollution in the sea. But microplastics are also a vector of a cocktail of contaminants. And among these contaminants, there are phthalate esters. Why phthalate esters? Because they are common additives that are largely used for plastic items. They are used in proportion even up to the 60% of the total plastic product weight. And the problem is that they easily leach from the plastic into the surrounding environment. And because of the nature of endocrine structures, they are declared priority pollutants by the USA, the Europe, and even since some years from China as well. So in order to assess the presence of microplastic and phthalate esters, and maybe even some hint about the combination between these two contaminants, we did a couple of research on invertebrates in Sardinia coast and in Lazio. We assessed the presence of microplastic and phthalates in sea anemones and in crustacean species. And we actually found that in both the sea anemones and the beach shrimp, there were huge number of microplastics, and the phthalate tester were present ubiquitously around the sample size. But why is this important? Well, not only because to understand the realistic impact on these marine vertebrates, we have to consider both of these contaminants working together, but even because all these species we studied are actually part of the seafood we are eating. So the two species of sea anemones are usually fried and known as orziadas, and the pink shrimp is very common. You can find it in every single restaurant or at the supermarket. So there is a clear link between the pollution of invertebrates and the potential contamination for humans as well. Luckily, the concentration we found do not pose a threat for human health, but we still need to monitor the situation. So there is still a lot of work to do, but together I think we can challenge this problem. So thank you very much for the attention.
Welcome back. And we can continue with the second part of the program. And I invite Elisa Maria Monchi, engineering, key feature in the Sardinian Regional Network for Conservation of Marine Fauna. She will present the Sardinia Regional Network for Conservation of Marine Fauna, sea turtles and marine mammals. Their work focuses on protecting marine species in Sardinia and promoting sustainable coexistence between wildlife and local community. Thank you.
Well, thanks to Maria Cristina and Andrea for this event, and thanks for sharing with us this opportunity. And the regional network for the conservation of marine fauna. Can we go to the video? The management and conservation of marine fauna in Sardinia falls under the responsibility of the regional government, which established its own regional network for wildlife. Obviously, in 2009, coordinated by Department of Environmental Protection, Sardinia is the first Italian region to establish a dedicated network for the protection of marine wildlife. In Sardinia, the network acts as the technical and operational body responsible for planning and implementing activities aimed at protecting marine wildlife in accordance with regional and national laws, European directives, and international conventions. The network is composed by different organizations, each with specific options. Sardinia Region, Department of Environmental Protection, coordinates the network activities, define authorization procedures, plans, and manages available resources, and carry out promotional initiatives with territory. And the Regional Center for the Recovery and the Save of Marine Fauna are the true heart of the regional network. They provide continuous intervention on the rescue, treatment, rehabilitation, and release of injured or distressed animals. We also carry out activities related to information, public outreach, awareness raising, and environmental education. This end has already within the areas, and then and divided into a recovery center, here for a long term and supported by veterinary clinics with diagnostic and surgical capabilities. And first aid center, equipped for evaluation manual for short stay to 48 to 24 to 48 hours, pending the sterilization of the release. The coastal Arcade provide logical support for emergency management as well for the COVID transport and release of marine wildlife and CFODA and the Forestry and Environmental Protection Corps is responsible for surveillance, enforcement and coordination for emergency management as well as the recovery and reintroduction of animals into the wild and with Coast Guard coordinated operation room by emergency number. Finally here, the Institute for the Study of Anthropogenic Impacts and Sustainability in Marine Environment of the CNR, Oristano, series of the network scientific coordinator. It provides technical and scientific support for the first aid activities, prepare and implement operational protocols for cases such as nesting, hatching, or recovery of marine wildlife, and assist the relation in its relationship with the other scientific actors. So the cooperation among these various institutions and stakeholders, the network is able to operate along the entire Sardinian coastline, which is divided into areas of responsibility assigned to the Swiss Center. The synergy among this institution as well the Sardinian National Network to develop significant expertise in conservation and to become a leading example at the national level. Also thanks to the shared decision-making processes and simulation results. Core activities, the network focuses on 40 areas of action. Save, rescues and care of startled animals, nesting, trainings, and other extraordinary events, environmental education and awareness, and innovative experimental projects. As the Prefectato says, the citato is the most common species in Sardinian seas, and tackle is subject to significant anthropogenic pressures, primarily starting from interaction with the fishing gear, the systematic pollution, with the plastic debris representing the predominant source of contamination. Recently, the number of implementation has increased, possibly due to a rise in incidents, but also because of greater attention and report caused by the network information and our legacy activities. Thanks to these activities, relationship with recreational boarders and professional fishermen have also significantly developed. They are much more willing to behaviors that are the species and are personally involved in the animals recovery. They activate network protocols by reporting incident by phone and network suppression room and linking their recovery specimen and show until a veterinary care. Finito qua. In conclusion, the regional network promotes scientific progress and conservation by fostering a culture of care and respect for our marine environment through the active involvement of the entire community. Well, thank you.
Thank you. For the presentation, and now it's the moment of online speaker, that is Massimo Marras, engineering and head of the Peninsula of Sinis Isola di Maldiventre Marine Protected Area. Massimo Marras has implemented innovative conservation strategies within the marine protected area, focusing on habitat protection and community engagement. He will discuss the strategic activity of the Sinis MPA on the conservation of habitats and on fighting environmental pollution. Thank you.
Good evening to everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so now I will share the screen and okay, this one.
If you have the presentation to share.
Yeah, of course. Can you see? Okay, perfect.
If you can put in presentation mode.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. So I can see you, but I'm very glad to be here, or even if in a remote mode because of my compromises. But well, I will try to be very short and at the same time to try to present our MPA. That is well one of the theaters of where the activities of CNR are executed also in helping us fight to the plastic pollution. So okay, I don't know if okay. No. Okay, perfect. Well, this is the our MPA, the darker blue. So it's a very large MPA. It's very near from you. It's in the coast. So it's very large because it's 260 about square kilometers. So it's very large, and of course. We have 37 kilometers of coastline, and well, I will be short here. We have a small island in off of the coast that is the Maldiventre Island. That is gives the name to the MPA, and you can see here different colors inside the MPA that mean that is different kind of protection that we have in the marine protected area. So the red ones, the red zones are the full protection areas. So the maximum protection of our MPA, where only research activities can be carried out, and of course also surveillance by the police bodies. The P zone, that is the yellow one, is as well as a zone where some activities is allowed, but only for inhabitants of the city of Cabras, that is the city where the marine protected area insists. And then we have the C zone, so the partial protection area, that is the wider one, the blue, darker blue here in the picture, and is the the general and the partial protection area where most of activities are allowed under the authorization of the MPA management. Okay, so here we have the legal framework that was established in when the MPA was created, and from the first, that is the establishment decree, we have more detailed regulations that till the last one, that is the tile regulation, that is an annual regulation that we have to approve each year, and we set the practical rules for all the activities inside MPA. So of course, our conservation goals are these 4 conservation goals. The first of them, of course, is the protection of the area. The second one is the education dissemination. That is very important. It's a very crucial activity in our day-by-day activities, and of course the research and knowledge to gain more and more knowledge about the characteristics, and also the scientific aspects of our MPA, and last but not least the sustainable development. That means that we try to make coexist the protection of the environment with the life of the people that lives near the marine protected area, trying to make that the coexistence possible. Okay, so how we do this? Of course, this is a program that was established by the Ministry of Environment. In this graph, you can see how we establish our main objectives and main actions to be carried out during a year or during several years. For our MPA, for example, this scheme is the same since many years ago, because we can't reach all the goals that we have established, and so we have to work again on the same. But okay, so how we do this? Of course, we have to work in a lot of aspects, and I will show here some of them. That is our activities. But at the same time, we can't really do the same activities all the years, and we understand it furthermore in the presentation. So of course we have studies of morphology, for example, about the characteristics of the bottom or the sea bottom by, for example, the multi-beam and side-scan sonar data. We, of course, we studied the beach litter that comes to our coasts, and both from the sea and from the beaches, from the people that uses the beaches, you can see, and also we made some research about the microplastics also some year ago, and so these are the characteristics with the mantatrol, and these are some of the graphs that of the results. But I've been so also we studied the fish fauna. For example, the last one said that we had almost 55 species in our MPA, and these are the densities of the density of the fish inside MPA at the different type of protection, and also outside the MPA. And well, you can see that there is no too much difference between these densities. And also we have to manage the presence of the people in the MPA, so we make a lot of efforts to try to to regulate this presence. So, for example, with the mooring buoys to protect our major asset, that is the Posidonia oceanica. For example, to avoid that leisure boats use anchoring and destroy our Posidonia oceanica meadows. We also have some program of restoration. That's why this is maybe the first project about restoration that is done here in the MPA with the Reforest Life project about the restoration of Schistosera. That is actually ongoing, so it's on a phase of execution. I mean, so these are one of the most important activities we can do. That is the education and awareness. Especially in summer in the beaches, because there is a lot of people there, so we have a lot of programs. One of them is the Scenic Sentinels, that are volunteers from all Italy that come here to help us and to help us to raise awareness about the citizens and the users of the beaches, and also to clean up some part of the coast, of course. But the education and awareness are not the Scenic Sentinel, but also, there are a lot of activities with, especially with schools, and these are some pictures from some of the activities we made in the past. We still make in this year and in the future too. So. Also, some small program of innovation here in 2020. We make a project with the WWF Germany to try to with the multi-beam to find some lost gears inside the Posidonia meadows. And in the picture, you can see that finally, with some calibration, we were able to find some lost gears inside the Posidonia oceanica meadows. And of course, one of the main one of the pillars of our activities is also the crest, but I don't speak too much of this because you already know, so I don't add any more information. And now this is a particular activities that we make not all the years, but from time to time, to check the presence of alien species in our MPA, because the first time we searched for them, we found them, of course. So these are the most relevant species that we have in our MPA. We don't have here the Percnungi basi, but it's also as a very popular species now in our MPA from 2018 is present in our MPA. So these are the trees that we have now, but also we lost some species because, of course, maybe you already know that, well, we had an important presence of Pinna nobilis in our MPA inside the Gulf of Oristano. We had more than 1,500 specimen of Pinna nobilis till and then we lost each of them, and at the moment we don't have more Pinna nobilis in our MPA. So, well, I gave you a very quick, show of what are the activities of the MPA. I know that is not the main, the main topic of your meeting, so I don't want to stay more here to bother you. And but if you have any question, I'm for sure I'm here to answer to each question you can have about this presentation. So from my side is everything.
We now it's the moment of Elisabetta Harris. So Elisabetta is the economic manager of 6th EU's organization dedicated to environmental stewardship. Elisabetta manages financial operation and strategic partnership and developed collaboration with institutions like Siena and Hertz to support marine conservation and education. She will present the role of the Sea Scout within the collaboration with Siena and Hertz. Thank you. I will change the slides from here. Okay, so just okay.
Per andare avanti?
No,
No,
thank you.
Okay.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I apologize because my English isn't quite good enough to talk without the teleprompter. I asked for, just to be clear, but they didn't let me have it. So I will. My name is Elisabetta Taris, and I deal with the shady accounting business, just kidding, for the Sea Scout Cooperative, where I'm proud member and vice president. Sea Scout is a group that today covers several different realities, and it filed. Oh. No.
I will change it from here. Just give me a note.
La cambierei da qui.
Ah,
Tagli il segno, guardala quando la guardi. Vai.
Sea Scout is a group that today covers several different realities in the field of cognitive and relational disabilities. But we are opening up to all kinds of fragilities, whether due to medical condition or simple age. We try to do it in an unusual way, without being afraid to explore new paths, maybe having a little, once, and to build collaboration that aren't always by the book, like the one that made us an active part of the REMEDIES project, thanks to our dear friends from CNR and Press. They share our same philosophy of trying new and unexplored paths, and they honored us by inviting our guys to take part in such an important project along with the other activities with to their abilities. Within our organization, we have the social cooperative represented here, but it's a tireless founder and president Riccardo Laporta, which focuses on behavioral and educational support. Then there's the 6th Training School, which provides some training, including BLSP and first aid courses, as well as sports programs like the high school. We also have the workshop we started and printing labs, but are now finally helping and step into the working world. And last but the least, the Sports Association, represented here by its president Rita Tais, and endless source of I was just thinking with bold ideas. Through the association, we work on helping our athletes gain independence and grow through groups activities that let them learn, share experience, and do outdoor activity together. As you probably figured out, we are not the kind of people who like to sit still. We are very dynamic, and our meeting president never really lets us stop and look back with pride, because there's always some new project wait for us the next day. Now let's talk about us. For several years now, we've been working with press, taking part in their wonderful and moving-target release events, where our athletes engage with visitors, explaining a bit about the turtles currently in recovery, specifically about their health condition. Often critical due to plastic ingestion on being traded in what's left on beaches or dumped from ships, etc. We also have a weekly appointment with press where our guys help maintain the turtle tanks, feed them, check water's value, and probably do other things I'm forgetting, but trust me, they know it also well. They something even correct their biologist colleagues. This activity have helped both of This activity have helped both of our athletes and their families because much more aware of the problem of plastic pollution. And it's been an important step toward encouraging informed and active participation in environment issues. But something even bigger has happened for us. Too often, social and cultural projects aimed at helping people with disabilities end up being closed-off activities instead of integrating. They unintentionally isolate people even more from society. Crest without being words and slogans, through projects like REMEDIES, brought us closer to something still rare: real inclusion. It shows us that even with their limitation, our guys can be part of a real working environment, peaceful, welcoming, and family-like, where they feel seen, appreciated, and valued. It's a place that celebrates diversity and has a true strength of every individual. In recent years, we have always taken part in a conference promoted by press, and we are optimistic about the future. If you keep giving us the chance, the Scout will always be happy and excited to say we are here whenever you call. More opportunities will come, maybe professional training for our young people, or even semi-professional rules for them. We hope. We don't know what the future holds, but one thing's for sure, our answer will always be yes, the Scout is here.
And is last talk of today, and we will hear from Mike Ferrana, an American drummer and musician living in Sardinia. Mike is known for performing in hard rock and heavy metal genres, and have collaborated with artists such like Ingui, Malmsteen, Tony McAlpin, Steve Lukather, and an Italian tour. He will share his personal experience of integrating into local community and into cultural life of the island. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, sure.
The floor is yours.
The microphones. There.
Hello, everybody. I'm good to be here. This is on. My name is Mike Ferrana, and I'm a professional drummer. When I say professional, I use that term very loosely. My good friend Andrea Camilla invited me to be part of this video project as a narrator. And I really enjoy doing that kind of a thing, and I think that your cause and your work for what you're doing with microplastics and repairing the environment is very important. I've done many tours all over the world in the past 45 years, and I've toured in Asia probably 20 times. And I noticed something about the Asian people, the young people that are programmed or they're educated to have respect and to be, what's the word, respectful, to be clean, to respect the environment and each other. And I think maybe what I see from some of your programs is very important to plant the seeds into the mind of the young people so that when they go to the beach, all the stuff they bring with them, they take it back home. I don't understand why people do that. I come from a place called Buffalo, New York. And it's a very hard place. It's a steel town. It's known for its cold winters. The people are big, hairy, and very mean. And that's just the women. Okay, anyway. But in Buffalo, there's a lake called Lake Erie, and it was a dead lake because it was located on a near steel plant. So when I grew up, there was really no beach. It was very dirty. The water was polluted, and now it's okay. So I think it's important that people respect the environment, and I'm happy to be a part of this. Thank you for the invitation. And I've been living here in Sardinia for about 5 years. It's probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever lived. The beaches are beautiful. The sea is very clear. And hopefully it's going to stay that way thanks to the work that you guys are doing. So I guess without further ado, you're going to see a video that I narrated and that Andrea and his colleagues had put together. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
The Sinis Peninsula on the western coast of Sardinia is a place of stunning natural beauty. Its crystal clear waters and soft quartz beaches stretch along a peaceful coastline, home to a diversity of wildlife and unique habitats. Ancient ruins and other archaeological sites tell the story of civilizations that lived here for thousands of years, blending history and nature in a truly remarkable landscape. Beneath the surface, the waters of the Sinis Peninsula are home to a vast meadow of Posidonia oceanica, often called the lungs of the sea. These underwater fields support an incredible diversity of marine life, from groupers, sea bream, barracudas, dentex, to the delicate corals and other fragile organisms. Dolphins and sea turtles also frequent these waters, making this ecosystem a vibrant and essential part of the Mediterranean. Unfortunately, a silent threat is reaching the waters of Sardinia and the species that live here: plastic. The monitoring carried out as part of the REMEDIES project allows us to detect plastic objects that end up in the sea, either accidentally or intentionally, due to the various human activities such as fishing, beach tourism, and even those taking place on land. Removing the marine litter, often in collaboration with local operators, is a crucial step to keep these natural environments intact and protect the marine ecosystem. The local fishing community of Torre Grande is made up mostly of small-scale vessels, numbering around 150 boats, making it one of the largest in Sardinia. Their activity is mainly concentrated in the Gulf of Oristano, within the marine protected area known as the Sinis Peninsula and the Biodiversity Island. In this area, coastal fishing is primarily carried out using gill nets, wild traps, and long lines. Trawling is used to a much lesser extent. As part of the fishing for litter activity, local professional fishermen were directly involved in collecting marine debris. Plastic and other human-derived materials caught in their nets were retrieved, sorted, and weighed. This provided valuable data for understanding the impact of marine litter in this area. Local port facilities are increasingly being equipped to receive abandoned fishing gear and marine litter. Fishermen recover this debris during their daily work, turning each haul into an opportunity for a cleaner ocean and beach. Plastic collected from the sea is not just waste. It can become a valuable resource. Through new recycling technologies, marine litter is transformed into reusable materials, giving them a second life. From our beaches and oceans, plastic waste is rescued and pulled from the environment to be reborn. Each piece is carefully analyzed using a cutting-edge technique, revealing its unique polymer identity. The plastic is ground into a fine powder using cryogenic milling, preserving its integrity and preventing it from melting. The thermonuclear process then transformed the powder into sleek, flexible films, ready to be used for a new purpose. Finally, the film is crafted into a new object, giving marine plastics a second life and telling a story of transformation and hope. These innovative tools have been sent to Sardinia and delivered to professional fishermen who will test their use, durability, and effectiveness directly here on the Sinis demo site. Thanks to a collaboration with the Isola Fishing Club, we were able to involve free divers, sport fishermen, and local volunteers to collect plastic from our beaches, and especially the seabed. Hundreds of people participated, removing large amounts of plastic from the marine environment and helping to preserve these unique coastal and underwater ecosystems. The Sea Scout Association has been an avid supporter during our beach cleanups and monitoring efforts. This relationship has allowed us to collaborate on various conservation, education, and environmental awareness activities. They have also assisted us in organizing major local events to educate and promote sustainable practices within our community. Beyond the simple beach cleanups, seasonal scientific monitoring is carried out. Every piece of marine litter is collected and carefully sorted into categories. Then it's recorded using a dedicated app. This valuable data is then used for future research and development. Hi everybody, I'm Mike Turano. I want to bring some awareness to the danger of plastic in our beautiful sea. It's dangerous for the organisms that live there, and it's also dangerous for humans. As you can see here, REMEDIES Project is monitoring the amount of plastic, and they are constantly looking for new and different solutions by using technology to remove plastic from our seas and rivers. Okay. So this summer, when you're at the beach, take your garbage with you. It sounds good, but it don't belong on the beach.